Hey my little panda cubs, welcome back to another AskTransgender with me, the Trans Rights Panda, but if you like, you can call me Big Sis. Let's get straight into it, shall we? This first one is by Owl Forest Pro. Owl Forest Pro says she came out, but her mum said she didn't like how it was so unpersonal that she said that I was always your daughter, because apparently she's never expressed dysphoria or wish to transition when she was younger, which is giving Owl Forest Pro a little bit of insecurity and anxiety about her identity. Owl Forest Pro's mum seems sympathetic and supportive of her, but she says that Owl Forest saying that she was always a girl makes her mum feel like a bad mother, because she had to go through this alone and didn't notice. Well, Owl Forest, when I was younger, I didn't really express outwardly my dysphoria either. I didn't really cross-dress, and I never told people that I wish I was a girl. However, I always thought it. I always wished I was a girl, and it expressed itself in other ways, such as depression, envy, jealousy. In school, I was highly jealous and envious of girls, the way they were allowed to dress and things like that. That's how my dysphoria manifested when I was younger. It didn't really manifest outwardly, so nobody around me could have known, because I never told anybody how I was feeling. I repressed it, because I didn't even know transition was possible. I didn't know trans was a thing. All I knew is that I wished I was a girl, but I wasn't and couldn't, so I just kept it to myself and repressed it and suppressed it. So my mum could never have known. None of my family could ever have known. I would say, tell your mother that she's not a bad mother for not being psychic, right? It's not her fault that she's not psychic. And the fact that she seems supportive of you now and is actually feeling guilt over not noticing before, that means she's actually a good mother, right? In a roundabout way, she is actually a good mother. So tell her that. Just reassure her that she is a good mother, and all you need from her is to support you now. But yes, don't worry, just because you didn't outwardly express it when you're younger, such as cross-dressing, not everybody cross-dresses, because not everybody has that freedom, right? If I did that when I was younger, I'd have got the shit kicked out of me by my stepdad, my abusive stepdad. Like when I was younger, I wanted to be a princess, and I wanted to play with dolls, but I would get quite a heavy beating if I tried. If I was even slightly unmasculine, I'd have the shit kicked out of me by my stepdad. He did so many times, so I repressed and suppressed that side of me, and many of us are the same. Sometimes it's mostly just ignorance, like we don't know that we're allowed to do that, so we just don't. We're brought up by society to fit into certain gender norms, and we're expected to live by those, so we just grow up doing that. It's not your mother's fault, and it's not your fault, but yes, Owl Forest Pro, you were always a girl. Good luck in your transition. Reassure your mum that she is a good mum, and all you need from her is to support you now, and you don't blame her for not being psychic in the past, okay? This next one is by Unknowable Gender. It's quite a long one, so I'll just paraphrase it, and I'll leave it on the screen just a little longer for you to read it. And don't forget, you can just pause the video if you want to read through all of it. Unknowable Gender is comfortable with their assigned gender at birth body, so their physical body they're fine with, but they also like to be feminine. They say if they could magically turn into a girl they would, but their male physical form basically doesn't give them any kind of dysphoria or discomfort. So Unknowable Gender is wondering if they're really trans. Well, Unknowable Gender, not all trans people experience dysphoria. Some experience gender euphoria. and that's valid too. It sounds like you experience the euphoria, but not the dysphoria. I think you need to do a lot of thinking and self-exploring yourself to decide who you really are before you even think of HRT or anything like that. I'd say you need to play around with your identity for a little while. You know, play around with your image, your clothes, your pronouns. I'd say play around with that for at least a few months to figure out what feels right to you and where your comfort zone is and where your discomfort zone is. But reading the post, it sounds like you could be on some form of non-binary, on the non-binary spectrum, which is still trans. Non-binary people are still trans, but from your post you don't feel much of a mismatch between your gender and your physical body. So it could just be that you're non-binary, and again, that's something you need to figure out yourself. Another possibility is you could just be a gender non-conforming cis person, and that would be fine too. That's valid too, i.e. a femboy. My boyfriend, for example, she went through, and I'll explain why I'm using she in a minute. She went through a period of self-discovery and self-exploration. My Danny, she thought she could be trans at one point, and she took a few months out to figure herself out. She played around with her image, and she played around with her identity, and she played around with her pronouns, and she decided that she was actually just a she her femboy. Like, she likes being a boy, but she likes having she her pronouns, and she likes dressing like a girl, but she also likes being a cis boy. She likes being a feminine boy who uses she her pronouns. So I know it can get complicated. We're all on a huge spectrum, and it's up to you really to figure out where on that spectrum exactly you lie. Nobody can really tell you. So take a few months off to explore yourself, play around with your identity, play around with your pronouns, play around with your image. Really ask yourself if you're a femboy or non-binary, or if you do actually want to medically transition to a woman. Good luck, unknowable gender, if you ever do figure it out. I'd love to see a post in the future to read about your progress. This one is by Virtual Mentalist. Virtual Mentalist wants to know how much of a difference laser will really make, and how soon will she really notice effects. She's M2F 34. Typically you should see some really good hair reduction between 4 to 6 sessions. It really depends on your hair type really. So about between 4 to 6 sessions you will notice a considerable reduction. It will be visible and tangible. You will actually see and feel the reduction between 4 to 6. Between 8 to 10 you should be pretty much hair free. But remember, laser isn't permanent, it's semi-permanent. But once you've had those about 8 to 10 sessions, you should only need a session or two a year after that, just to keep it gone. Though what you could do once you've finished your laser sessions is just actually have 1 or 2 electrolysis sessions a year. So those little bits that keep popping through year after year, you can actually electrolysis those and they'll be gone permanently. And if you do that over time, then obviously you'll have more of a permanent result. So don't worry, Virtual Mentalist, you'll see pretty quick progress. I think in about 4 or 5 sessions you'll see, and you'll be very happy with the results. This one is by Kit Herondale. Kit Herondale is a pre-HRT trans man. He suffers depression, OCD and so on. He wants to know if mental health has improved after HRT. Before HRT, Kit, I was suicidal. I was literally one bad day away from throwing myself in front of a train. I swear to God. That was me pre-transition. Pre-transition, I was also a drug addict and an alcoholic. My life wasn't good. I didn't like it. I didn't like myself. I lived in complete disarray. My place was a complete shithole. I didn't clean or tidy because what was the point? I wanted to die. I had no drive and I had no ambition. I was just miserable. I had no friends. I was socially isolated because I never went out. Yeah, that was my life pre-HRT. After HRT, I have friends. I'm starting college this year. I've got this YouTube channel. I know I'm only a little nobody, but I've built it myself. And I have the drive and the motivation to do it and keep up with it now. And it's something I enjoy. I enjoy things again. Pre-transition, I didn't enjoy anything. I had no hobbies. I had no fun doing anything. But this, I have fun doing. I have a fiance. I have a fiance. Pre-transition, I was single for a very long time because I isolated myself and pushed everybody away. So yes, post-transition, my mental health improved vastly. I tell you what really helped me though, is when, this doesn't apply to you because you're a trans man, but as a trans girl, I was boy moding for the first year of my transition. Now that gave me a lot of brainworms and a lot of imposter syndrome, and it sort of clashes in your mind. My mental health drastically improved once I started expressing myself as the gender I want to be. I started girl moding, basically. I started girl moding publicly. I came out to people, and ever since then life has gotten better. Being able to live free as who you are, you can't put a price on that. It's better than any antidepressant. How can you be happy if you're hiding away, permanently got a mask on, pretending that you're somebody that you're not? Since I let go of those shackles and lived free as myself, yes, mental health does improve post-transition. So good luck, Kit. Let us know on the subreddit how you get on in the future. This next one is by Twinkie IG. Twinkie IG has a partner who is not very supportive. In fact, Twinkie's partner is telling Twinkie that her wanting to be a trans woman is just a phase. Twinkie is sure it's not a phase. Twinkie has had dysphoria for a long time. She's always wanted to be a girl, but her partner makes her feel like her feelings aren't valid. She's asking for advice on how to approach this subject with her partner. Unfortunately, Twinkie, all you can do really is tell your partner bluntly that this is who you are, this is what you want, this is what will make you happiest, and explain to her that you've thought about this thoroughly and deeply and for a long time, and that you are 100% sure. And you need to tell your partner that you need her love and support. It hurts me to say this, but if she's not willing to give you that love and support, it may be that you and your partner may not have a future together. Unfortunately, transition can be hard on relationships. It sounds like she's having doubts about wanting to be with a trans woman and is trying to project some insecurities into you that way. As hard as it may be, Twinkie, you need to be upfront and blunt with her that this is what you want, this is what you're going to do, and you're asking her for her support, and if she doesn't want to support you, then you may have to think about moving on. I'm sorry it's probably hard to hear, but that's the blunt truth about this. Your feelings are valid and you deserve to be happy, but more than that, you deserve to have a partner who feels like you deserve to be happy. And if your partner doesn't feel like you deserve to be happy, you know what you have to do, Twinkie. But before jumping the guns, just make sure you have a good, long, blunt talk with your partner, maybe over a glass of wine. in a nice, calm environment. Just talk it through, explain that you've thought about this deeply and thoroughly, and it's something that you need, and you'd like your partner to be on board for your journey. But if your partner doesn't want to be on board for it, then good luck for the future. I hope you update us in a few months and let us know how everything went, Twinkie. You have my best wishes. You deserve to be you. Don't let anybody hold you back, okay? And thank you all for another week of Ask the Transgender. I'll see you again next Friday, 6 p.m. GMT, where I'll pick another 5 or 6 questions to answer from the subreddit. Have a great weekend from the Trans Rights Panda, your big sis, Zippity